Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things we learned from RB Salzburg 1, Chelsea 2. Just like I said in the match preview, I thought we were going to win this game 2-1. However, the main thing is, I was entertained. Were you entertained? I was very entertained by this game. End-to-end stuff. Salzburg, first of all, I think probably don't get given anywhere near enough credit for just how good they are. They were unbeaten in this group going into this game. We drew 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. They put in a good show there. Maybe we should have won that game, but still, that was an entertaining game of football. End-to-end action, Kepa forced into saves, and Chelsea get double-figure shots on target. I may have got that one wrong. I obviously come straight after the game when I'm ready to make videos straight after the game to record, and I don't stay to look at all the stats and the after talks with the managers if I get it done and get to watch the interviews. But we were very, very good tonight. We created good chances. The Salzburg goalkeeper was absolutely phenomenal. Kepa, once again, phenomenal. This could have been a high-scoring Champions League game, but Chelsea get the job done. Not only that, 2 beautiful left-footed strikes from both Mateo Kovacic and Kai Havertz gets Chelsea the win, which sends us into the last 16. If you remember, 2 or 3 weeks ago, before those 2 games against AC Milan, we were sat here worried that against the Milan team that have got some very good players, with a Chelsea side looking very jaded in the early start of the season, we're looking at the draw and the defeat against Salzburg and Zagreb, and we're thinking, are we even going to qualify from this group? We could be out after 4 matches, but Graham Potter comes in and he has been phenomenal. 10 points from the 4 games that he's been the manager in the Champions League, with 0 Champions League experience. Once again tonight, picking a team that enabled us to not only go for the game, which is why I was entertained, and I'm sure you guys were too, but the decisions that were made are based again off of loads of first team players being injured. And when you've got a squad of players who know that minutes may be few and far between, each player going into a game under Graham Potter not knowing tactically what the system is going to be, everybody did their job today. And I think when we look at the Salzburg goal, that is what the Champions League is all about. You've got these teams that aren't your Bayern Munichs, your Barcelonas, Real Madrids, and we can go on with all the big names of teams that are still in the competition that have won it over the years. Red Bull Salzburg aren't a name that comes straight to your mind, but they've still got the quality to hurt us, and they did. They scored a wonderful goal, but I think Chelsea managed this game phenomenally well. And before we get into the boxes, I do want to say a massive thank you again to Private Internet Access for being my sponsor in the 30 days leading up to the World Cup. Yes guys, so a massive thank you to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video and partnering with me here on GBFC for 30 days in the lead up to the World Cup. If you don't know what Private Internet Access is, it's a VPN. Everybody should have a VPN to encrypt your internet connection. With the World Cup coming up, I live in Indonesia. I want to be watching with English commentary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the UK so that I can sign into my TV accounts in the UK and listen to English commentary from my favourite commentators. Why should you go with Private Internet Access for your VPN? Well, through my link in the description, you guys can also see it here on the screen, you're going to get yourselves 3 months for free and 82% discount, which makes this cost you $2.11 per month. Go check the link in the description. They're the most transparent VPN provider in the world. See you guys there. Thank you very much. Into box number 1, and it is a blue box for a man who has been playing with an injury. We found this out in the last 24 hours. Kovacic has been playing through a knee injury all season long, and tonight he was above and beyond anyone else on the field. And it's not the first time that we've said this about Mateo Kovacic. Sometimes he just has everything. The ability to navigate out of difficult situations with the ball at his feet. When we talk about midfielders and the roles and the jobs that they do, there are so many different words, so many different interpretations of what a central midfielder does in the modern game. But Kovacic does absolutely everything. He's not scared to make a tackle. He's not scared to dribble and take players on. We know that scoring goals isn't something that we expect every time he goes out on the field. We're not looking at Kovacic as a match winner. We're not looking at Kovacic as a goal scorer when we're watching Chelsea games. But again tonight, it reminded me of that volley that we saw last season against Liverpool, where he's kind of leaning back and he just gets a perfect connection rockets it into the top corner. That is a stunning, stunning finish. And obviously the main talking point with him is always going to be about the goal in this game. But I think the way that he managed the Chelsea midfield tonight, even Jorginho was getting up at times and managing to get attempts on target. He almost scored a header and then had another shot on target in the last minute of the game. Chelsea today were far more persistent with trying to be aggressive. And that is all I've been asking for in recent weeks. When I talk about entertainment, I've always said it. I would much rather Chelsea win every single game and I'm half falling asleep than going all out and then getting beaten 5-2, but we start well and we're running ragged and teams are scared of us, but then all of a sudden we burn out and get caught on the counter. But tonight, not only was it entertaining, but player by player, we managed the RB Salzburg counter. We move into box number 2. And if ever there was a player who needed a massive goal, a beautiful goal, it had to be Kai Havertz. I thought Kai was phenomenal tonight. And that finish, what we saw from Germany against England, was a very similar goal, bending it in with his left foot. The Salzburg keeper, as we said, he had a brilliant, brilliant game. But then that Havertz goal, he's kind of rooted. He knows exactly where it's going, hits the crossbar, goes in the back of the net. I thought Kai worked incredibly well tonight in that front three. I think all of the attackers were very good. And Kai gets the match-winning goal, and I think it's exactly what he's needed. He's kind of been out the team recently. Even at the weekend, he wasn't even brought on against Manchester United. Graham Potter went with Chukwuemeka off the bench, which is why I thought we were kind of playing for a draw. Maybe he'd have brought on Havertz. Maybe he'd have done what he did tonight. But we live and we learn. We move. We're still unbeaten. We got a big win. And it was sealed by the man that won us the Champions League. Delighted for Kai Havertz. And again, it gets us excited about that word potential. Moving into box number 3, Conor Gallagher. I was delighted to see him starting. I didn't think he was going to start. You guys, if you watch the preview, will know I picked a midfield 3 of Ruben, Jorginho and Kova because I thought we were going to play 4 at the back. Conor's work rate tonight, phenomenal. I know that work rate has kind of become like a bit of a taboo thing to talk about in football, particularly for Chelsea players, because we were kind of praising work rate with Havertz, with Werner, but they weren't delivering what we wanted to see. But Chelsea needed energy in the middle today. Chelsea needed someone who was willing to run, track back, make tackles when the fast, speedy wingers of RB Salzburg were coming at us. And Conor Gallagher did that. Not only that, but he got into attacking positions too. I thought as a midfielder with minimal Champions League experience, I thought it was an incredibly mature and professional display. Box number 4 is Kepa. Once again, massive saves, commanding the box when Salzburg were peppering crosses towards the end. In times we've seen Kepa come out without the confidence, misses the punch or kind of flaps at it and doesn't do anything with it. The punches are brilliant. The shot stopping is brilliant. The goal, maybe his hand could have done something a bit more. But the way that he's been playing recently, and we won the game, not going to entertain that kind of argument or discussion for 1 second. I thought Kepa tonight was fantastic, making big saves again, and the players have got confidence in him now. You know, there's times where Salzburg players are progressing, defenders have got the ball, we're happy to give it out to him, and then the distribution gets Chelsea moving forward again. It's not slow, it's fast. And I thought Kepa was phenomenal. Box number 5. Got to stop saying the word phenomenal. But Thiago Silva, you know that word beginning with P. Unbelievable. That begins with a U, but still phenomenal. It counts. When he goes down at the end of the game, when he's going up for the ball and then he lands, it looks like he lands on his neck. I was literally cowering in my seat with a pillow over my face, because when you see a player go down like that, you're thinking, hopefully this isn't as serious as it looks like it could have been if a single millimetre of difference with the landing was to be the case. He was fine, and he gets up, he gets on with it. But again, intelligence, such a brilliant performance from Thiago Silva. Hardly put a foot wrong, hardly misplaced the pass, and we are so lucky to have this guy at the club. I think it has to be talked about that Graham Potter comes in to the biggest club competition in the world and has got 10 points to send Chelsea through when it looked as though we were absolutely doomed and hoping at the best that we'd get the Europa League. I thought the substitutions are brilliant. I thought the way we set out tonight was everything we've been looking for. When we're looking at a new manager, someone coming in, we want to see progress. And I must admit, in recent weeks I've been critical because I feel like a lot of the football has been so similar to what ended up getting Tuchel the sack. The brilliance of Graham Potter is that he's not afraid to make drastic changes. He's not afraid, and he's very smart with the way that we manage tactics in game. And I think what we're seeing is the beginning of a project that will see us win multiple titles. And I think tonight, going through, winning a game where it was end-to-end. Chelsea defended well, controlled in the middle, and we also looked far more potent in attack. And I think Graham Potter deserves so much credit for the selection, the substitutions, and the way we managed this game. So yeah, going to wrap this one up here. Let me know the 6 things you learned from RB Salzburg 1, Chelsea 2. In the comments down below. We are through. Come on, you Blues.